It's Algebraic Expressions Part 3, and we're going to start by looking at an expression. So our expression here is 3y plus 6 plus 2 minus 7y. And we want to make sure that our expressions are always written using addition. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this minus 7y to plus negative 7y. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things we're going to be identifying in today's expression. So we're going to look for like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same variable to the same power. Constants are also like terms. So we're looking for things that are alike. So in this expression, I see that the 3y and negative 7y both have a y. So that makes them like terms. They have the same variable. And then 6 and 2 are both constants, and they are like terms also. Another thing we're going to be talking about here is putting these expressions into simplest form. And simplest form is defined as an expression having no parentheses and no other possible like terms. So we start with this expression that we have up here, except I've rewritten it. I've made it 3y plus negative 7y plus 6 plus 2. And that's okay because you can take any addition problem and rearrange it and it's going to give you the same answer. So the reason I rearranged it is now I've got these two next to each other. I can combine them. 3y and negative 7y give me negative 4y. And 6 and 2 give me 8. So negative 4y plus 8 is our simplified version here. It doesn't have parentheses, and we don't have any other like terms that we can combine. These two can't be combined because this has a y and these guys do not. So this is simplest form. So let's practice identifying some of these things. So we've got here 3y minus 2 minus 4y plus 6. And I've changed that to addition. It'd be 3y plus negative 2 plus negative 4y plus 6. My terms would be in order 3y, negative 2, negative 4y, and 6. Our like terms, we've got two things with y's, 3 and negative 4y. And we've got two constants, negative 2 and 6. So we're going to combine them to simplify our expression. So the 3y and negative 4y would give me negative 1y, which I can just write as negative y. The negative 2 and 6 would combine to give me positive 4. So negative y plus 4 is our simplified version here of this expression. So let's try another. So first thing I'm going to do is change my expression so it's written in all addition. So I'm going to make this 1w plus 5w squared plus 2w squared plus negative 7w. So my terms are 1w, 5w squared, 2w squared, and negative 7w. I've got two terms that have a w in them. They are like terms, the 1w and the negative 7w. I've also got a pair of terms that have w squared as their variable to the second power. So I've got another pair of like terms. 5w squared and 2w squared would go together. All right, so I'm going to now simplify these. So 5w squared and 2w squared would give me 7w squared. 1w and negative 7w would give me negative 6w. And I'm going to take this plus minus here, and I'm going to change this into just a minus. So my simplified version would be 7w squared minus 6w. Let's look at a couple more. So here's one that I did earlier, negative 4z minus 3z plus 14 plus z. I've changed this guy into addition. It's negative 4z plus negative 3z plus 14 plus 1z. So my terms are negative 4z, negative 3z, 14, and 1z. So I've got a couple of like terms everything with the z's goes together here. Negative 4z, negative 3z, and 1z. Notice 14 isn't listed in the like term row here because 14 doesn't have another term that it's alike with. It's just on its own. So I'm going to combine all these guys and I get negative 6z plus my lone 14. All right, let's look at one more here. So I'm going to rewrite this one as addition, but while I'm doing that, I'm also going to make sure that I get common denominators here for my fractions. So I've got 3/4 y plus 12 plus negative, I'm going to make this 2/4 y plus negative 6. So my terms here are 3/4 y, 12, negative 2/4 y, and negative 6. So for like terms, I've got two things with the y, so I have 3/4 y and negative 2/4 y. And I've also got 12 and negative 6. So I'm going to combine my y's first, and I'm left with 1/4 y. And my 12 and negative 6 combined leaves me with 6. So there's my simplified expression. So let's look at some that have parentheses. So here I have 3 times the quantity g plus 1 minus 4. So what I did first was I changed it to addition. So I made this plus negative 4. I then distributed my 3, so it became 3g plus 1. And then I found some like terms that I could combine. The 3 and negative 4 could go together to be 1. So I had, negative 1. So I had 3g plus negative 1, which I can simplify this into a minus 1. So 3g minus 1 is my most simplified version. All right, let's try another one here together. So first thing I'm going to do is write this as addition. So negative 2, g plus negative 4, plus 7g. Now I'm going to distribute my negative 2. So I'm going to have negative 2g plus negative 2 times negative 4 gives me positive 8 plus 7g. I'm going to rearrange this guy so my negative 2g and my 7g are together there, and I'm going to put 8 at the end. These two can combine to 5g plus 8. All right, let's try one more together. So this one actually is already all in addition, so I don't have to rewrite it in addition, but I am going to distribute. Negative half times 6 gives me negative 3n. Negative half times 4 gives me negative 2. And I have plus 2n plus 3. So I'm going to rearrange this. Negative 3n plus 2n plus negative 2 plus 3. These guys will combine to negative 1n, or negative n. And these two will combine to 1. So I've got negative n plus 1. All right, so let's look at a word problem here. You're going to Royal Cinema with a group of people. Each person in your group is buying a ticket, a medium drink, a large popcorn. We want to define a variable and write an expression in simplest form that represents the amount of money the group is going to spend at the cinema. So what we don't know here is how many people are in the group. So I'm going to pick P as my variable. You can pick anything. And this is going to stand for the number of people in the group. So I know that each person is buying a ticket, so that's $9 for each person. Plus they're each buying a medium drink, which is $2.75 for each person. And they're all buying a large popcorn, which is $7 per person. So I want to combine all of these. So 9 plus the 275 is going to give me 1175, plus 7 is going to give me 1875 per person. This is a simplified expression that shows how much the entire group is going to spend. Now I just need to know the number of people in the group, multiply it by 1875, and I will have my total.